Najteža nesreća atomskog doba dogodila se 26. travnja 1986. u ukrajinskoj nuklearnoj elektrani Černobil. Nuklearka je izgrađena potkraj 70. godina 20. stoljeća na rijeci Pripjat, 100 kilometara sjeverno od glavnog ukrajinskog grada Kijeva. Imala je 4 reaktora, a incident se dogodio kada je vodstvo elektrane odlučilo ispitati jedan od generatora u sustavu rada ekstremnih naprezanja. Radnici su pristupili pokusu ne poštujući pravila sigurnosti, pa su isključujući reaktor isključili i sigurnosne zaštitne sustave. Kada su shvatili da temperatura i pritisak u 4. reaktoru nekontrolirano rastu, pokušali su spriječiti katastrofu, no bilo je prekasno. Strašna eksplozija razorila je nuklearni reaktor, prouzročivši požar koji se proširio po pogonu elektrane. U Černobilu se nije mogla dogoditi eksplozija poput atomske bombe, ali je zbog kemijske reakcije u obliku vodene pare i dima u atmosferu otišlo više od 5 tona radioaktivnih proizvoda. Ta količina radijacije bila je mnogostruko veća nego radijacija emitirana poslije eksplozije nad Hirošimom i Nagasakijem. Sovjetske vlasti evakuirale su područje Pripjata, ali i pokušale prikriti katastrofu pred ostatkom svijeta. No širenje radijacije nisu mogli onemogućiti ni prikriti. Radioaktivni oblaci nošeni vjetrom kontaminirali su golema područja istočne i sjeverne Europe. Svijet je za nesreću doznao 2 dana poslije, kada su švedski mjeritelji na udaljenosti veće od 1000 km otkrili porast radijacije od 40%. Istodobno drama u Černobilu i dalje je trajala. Nesretni 4. reaktor plombiran je tek 7 dana nakon eksplozije. Na sam dan nesreće pri gašenju požara poginulo je 32 ljudi, a mnogi drugi pretrpjeli su zračenja zbog kojih će se poslije razboljeti. Stvarne posljedice černobilske katastrofe nikada se neće moći izmjeriti. Međutim, pretpostavlja se da zbog nje danas boluju milijuni Ukrajinaca.
"90 seconds and counting. The 51L mission ready to go."
In Los Angeles, where it is 3 hours earlier than Florida, NBC's affiliate, KNBC, decided to cover the launch live.
This is a special report from Channel 4 News. Good morning, I'm Kent Shocknick, and Space Shuttle Challenger is just a few seconds away from blasting off from the Kennedy Space Center near Cape Canaveral, Florida. Let's take a look right now. Challenger finally getting ready to leave KSC. It's launch delayed a couple of times because of weather and mechanical problems.
T-minus 15 seconds.
The voice of launch control, Hugh Harris of NASA.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. We have main engine start, 4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff.
Solid rocket boosters kicking in.
25th Space Shuttle mission, and it has cleared the tower.
Challenger going into its roll. That's planned.
Good roll program.
Spiral away from pad 39B, the first use of pad 39B since the old Apollo days and the Skylab missions. It's chilly in Florida. Icicles formed on the pad overnight. NASA engineers were concerned that they might have broken off during the launch and affected the fragile heat protection tiles that protect the shuttle on its way back in during re-entry.
We'll throttle down to 65% shortly.
Don't know what the effect might be just yet. The astronauts will take a look later on during the mission.
Engines at 65%, 3 engines running normally, 3 good fuel cells, 3 good APUs.
APUs, the auxiliary power
Velocity
units.
2,257 feet per second. Altitude 4.3 nautical miles, downrange distance 3 nautical miles.
It's always amazing to hear how quickly the shuttle moves. It's already more than 4 miles downwind, as we just
Engines
heard.
throttling up, 3 engines now at 104%.
Challenger, go at throttle up.
Roger, go to throttle up.
This shuttle mission will launch, my God,
1 minute 15
There's been an
seconds.
explosion.
Velocity 2,900 feet per second. Altitude 9 nautical miles, downrange distance 7 nautical miles.
this is not standard. This is not something that is planned, of course. I can see a solid rocket booster has broken away from Shuttle Challenger. That's what you're looking at in the middle of your screen. I cannot see the shuttle itself. I don't know if it's able to continue on one rocket booster. If it's able to jettison that rocket booster, it will be able to return to the Kennedy Space Center. Perhaps the shuttle engines are not enough to power the shuttle back down. It
Flight
would have to
controllers
shut
here
down.
looking very carefully at the situation. Obviously a major malfunction.
I hope they were able to survive. I hope the astronauts...
We have no downlink.
We have absolutely no sign at all of the shuttle itself. All we saw was that one explosion only about a minute into the flight, and we saw the solid rocket booster. Now here's something coming down. I don't know what that is. I don't think that that's the shuttle. I believe that's a piece of debris that's coming back earthbound. I don't know. It's too small for the shuttle itself. Pieces falling out of the sky in the Florida morning. It's about 20 till noon in Florida. There are contingency plans for the shuttle when something does go wrong, when something goes terribly
We have a
wrong.
report from the flight dynamics officer that the vehicle has exploded. Flight director confirms that. We are looking at checking with the recovery forces to see what can be done at this point.
8:40, and we hear from launch control the vehicle has exploded. That's the orbiter itself, the Shuttle Challenger, has exploded. We
Contingency procedures are in effect.
assume that the crew is not alive. This is unheralded in the history of the space program. Ladies and gentlemen, I have covered the space shuttle launches since the very first launch, since before the first launch itself, going way back, and nothing like this has ever happened. Of course, there was the Apollo fire on the ground at the Kennedy Space Center, the Apollo 1 fire that killed 3 astronauts during a test run back in the 60s, but the shuttle program itself, to this time, has been untouched by any human problem.
lanciremo, dorime, ameno, o mandare imperavi, ameno, timere, matiremo, ameno.
Just before the 10th anniversary of 9/11, new footage has emerged, leaked out by a whistleblower that seems to show a cruise missile hitting the Pentagon, backing up what conspiracy theorists have been saying for years. For an hour after the incident, the roof of the Pentagon had not collapsed. Photos taken at the time shows a small round punch hole cleanly cut into the reinforced concrete. What is striking about the images, it looks like very little damage considering a full passenger airliner has crashed here. There are no signs of a plane anywhere in the images. It does, however, look like a missile punch hole. After the roof had collapsed. The damage looks much worse, and some could be mistaken that a plane did indeed cause the damage. But when you superimpose a plane over the damage, you would be right in thinking the damage and plane debris should have been far greater. But if there never was any plane, then the images make a lot more sense. Let's go back and look at the footage. The first shot shows us looking away from the Pentagon. Over the river in the distance there is a strange flash in line of sight of the Pentagon impact zone. The next scene we see the Pentagon with a very low fast object slamming into the boundary wall. Note the approach angle, speed and altitude. It would be impossible for a Boeing plane to do such an approach and statistically impossible for a hijacker to pull off such maneuvers. The official story that it was one of the hijacked planes that hit the Pentagon has been disputed for years by alternative media. But for this newly leaked footage, there was only ever 3 frames of one CCTV camera's footage of the impact. In the first frame you get the perspective. The next frame shows a small fast-moving object, with possibly a smoke or dust trail behind it. The next shows a large explosion. When zoomed in, it is hard to imagine that it is a large passenger airliner. It is much smaller and pointy. Again, it sounds like a cruise missile. Are you noticing a theme here? Old photos showing an American Airlines painted missile has been circulating for a while on the internet, further fueling the missile speculation. This new footage, as amazing as it is, has not been given the attention it deserves. It goes with the many other massive breakthroughs in the 9/11 story that go against the official 9/11 Commission report. Finally, you would think footage showing a missile hitting the Pentagon would be all over the news. Unfortunately, in today's tightly controlled mainstream media propaganda arms, there is far too much control to let this be shown to the masses. Here is what a reporter saw on that day.
I mean, it was like a cruise missile with wings, went right there and slammed right into the Pentagon. Huge explosion, a great ball of fire.
Wow, he saw a missile. And one of the 9/11 commissioners slips up on CNN letting slip a missile hit the Pentagon.
Worried, especially when I was standing in front of the Pentagon that night, seeing one of our fortresses pried open by a missile airplane, thinking about the number of people that probably died on the plane and on the ground.
Was an inside job. 10 years on, we must demand a new independent investigation. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe if you have not already. Also find us on Facebook. The link to our profile is in the description.